My child, pause for a moment. Right now, I am speaking to you not by chance, not by accident, and certainly not for anyone else but you. I have brought you to this moment with intention, with timing that only heaven could arrange. Every second, every breath that led you here was guided by my hand. I know you have been rushing through life, carrying burdens too heavy to name, running from questions you have been afraid to ask, and searching for signs that you are not forgotten. That is why I am here, to interrupt the noise, to call your attention, to gently yet firmly draw you into a sacred space where only you and I exist. You may wonder, why am I here? Why now? What is this moment meant to do? It is because there is a message meant specifically for your heart, a truth that has been waiting patiently for you to be ready, a whisper from heaven that can only be heard when the heart is open enough to receive it. Timing matters, my child. There is a divine appointment in this very second, a hidden message woven into the fabric of your day, and it is not random. The world has tried to distract you, to pull your gaze elsewhere, but I have positioned this moment perfectly so that your attention cannot escape. Do you feel it? That subtle stirring inside, that gentle pull that asks you to stop and listen? That is me. I am asking for your presence, not in haste, not in urgency that creates fear, but in the tender authority of one who sees the path you have walked, the nights you have wrestled with silent tears, the weight you have carried alone. I know the hidden corners of your heart, the places you have tried to hide from the world, even from yourself. I have been walking beside you, unseen yet steadfast, preparing you for what is about to unfold. I am here to interrupt your routine, your distraction, your endless motion, to remind you that your existence is precious, that every sigh, every unspoken prayer, every moment of feeling overlooked has been noticed, has been held, has been remembered. This moment is carefully orchestrated, and it holds a sacred reason. You are not here by chance, and you are not hearing these words by coincidence. The message I am bringing is tailored for your spirit, designed to touch the places you did not know needed healing. It is a divine signal, a gentle but firm knock upon the door of your soul, asking you to pause, to reflect, to recognize that this intersection of time and destiny is purposeful. You may feel curiosity rising, a soft question echoing inside. Why now? Why me? Why this message? Those questions are welcome, for they open the door to understanding, to revelation, to the tender recognition that heaven is actively engaged in your life. I have waited for this exact alignment, for this precise moment where your heart could be still enough to hear, for your spirit to be ready to receive what I have prepared. There is reason in this timing, my child, reason that surpasses human comprehension, reason that carries with it the quiet authority of a loving shepherd who has not missed a single step of your journey. Listen carefully and allow yourself to feel the weight of this divine attention, the care that has been extended to you through unseen channels, through circumstances that seem mundane but have been orchestrated for your readiness. Every delay, every silence, every path you thought led nowhere has been a part of my preparation. This is your sacred appointment, your moment to encounter me fully, without distraction, without hurry, without fear. I have been present all along, even when it seemed I was silent, even when it seemed that the world had forgotten you. I have not. And now, in this intentional pause, I am asking for your awareness, your presence, your openness, your readiness to receive what is meant only for you. This is a message that cannot be duplicated, that cannot be borrowed or replaced, because it is aligned with the exact contours of your heart. The timing, the reason, the purpose, and the hidden message are all converging in this second. I am calling you not to startle you, but to awaken you, not to frighten you, but to invite you into the closeness of my presence, not to impose, but to reveal the depth of my care and the precision of my love. So lean in, my child, and allow yourself to be fully aware, fully present, fully receptive, for the path forward begins here, in the stillness, in the pause, in the recognition that you are seen, you are known, and you are held. I am here, and I have been waiting for this moment with you, for this moment is no accident, and the message you are about to hear is crafted by love, guided by heaven, and meant to reach the deepest chambers of your heart. Let the gentle awareness of my presence settle over you. Let the quiet certainty of my timing reassure you. Let the hidden message that is now unfolding wrap around you like a cloak of warmth and hope, for this is the reason I am here, for this is why you are present, for this is the divine interruption that carries my hand, my voice, my eyes, and my heart directly to yours. And now, my child, let me stay with you a little longer in this quiet place, because there is something I want you to see. Not something outside of you, but something you have been carrying inside for far too long. I know how often you tell yourself that you are simply tired. I know how often you say that you just need more rest, more time, or a break from the demands around you. But the exhaustion you feel runs deeper than that. It is not only physical exhaustion. It is emotional fatigue. It is the weariness that settles into the soul after carrying invisible burdens day after day without relief. I see the silent struggle that no one else notices. I see the effort it takes just to keep moving forward when your heart feels heavy. I see how often you smile when others are looking, even when there is an ache beneath that smile. I see how many conversations you have where you say you are fine because it feels easier than explaining what is really happening inside. There are battles you have fought without words. There are fears you have carried without sharing them. There are disappointments that still linger quietly in the corners of your heart. Some of them came from prayers that seemed unanswered. Some came from people you trusted. Some came from dreams you thought would unfold differently. And some came from simply trying to be strong for too long. My child, there are moments when you feel emotionally tired before the day has even begun. You wake up carrying yesterday's worries into today's responsibilities. Your mind races through possibilities, concerns, and questions. You wonder if things will ever feel lighter. You wonder why certain burdens seem to follow you wherever you go. You have carried expectations that were never meant to rest entirely on your shoulders. You have tried to hold everything together, to manage every uncertainty, to prepare for every outcome, and it has left you drained in ways that are difficult to describe. I see the hidden pain that you rarely acknowledge, the loneliness that sometimes appears even when you are surrounded by people, the disappointment that returns when certain memories come to mind, the quiet sadness that settles in during moments when the world becomes still. There are wounds you learn to live around rather than heal. There are emotions you pushed down because you believed they were too heavy to face. There are tears that never reached your eyes because you became accustomed to carrying pain in silence. I know about the nights when your thoughts felt louder than the room around you. I know about the questions you asked when no one else was listening. Questions about your future. Questions about your purpose. Questions about why certain seasons lasted longer than you expected. Questions about whether anyone truly understands the depth of what you have been carrying. My child, I understand. I see every hidden burden. I see every silent struggle. I see the emotional fatigue that has settled over your heart. I see the exhaustion that comes from constantly trying to be resilient. There have been days when you felt like giving more than you had to give. Days when you poured out strength that you did not feel. Days when you kept going, simply because stopping did not seem like an option. You have carried responsibilities while quietly carrying heartache. You have shown kindness while feeling depleted. You have offered encouragement to others while secretly needing encouragement yourself. And through it all, there has been a part of you wondering if anyone truly sees how tired you have become. My child, I do. I see the heaviness. I see the weariness. I see the emotional scars left behind by disappointment, uncertainty, and prolonged waiting. I see the hidden pain that has shaped the way you think, the way you hope, and sometimes even the way you pray. You have been carrying more than most people realize, more than you sometimes realize yourself. And while others may only see the surface, I see the whole story. I see the burden beneath the smile. I see the exhaustion beneath the strength. I see the longing beneath the silence. Nothing about your struggle is hidden from me. Nothing about your pain has escaped my attention. Every sigh, every worry, every moment of emotional fatigue has been seen. Every silent battle has been noticed. Every hidden burden has been known. And even here, in this quiet moment between you and me, I want you to know that you do not have to pretend. You do not have to hide your weariness. You do not have to convince me that you are stronger than you feel. I already know what your heart has been carrying, and I have never looked away. My child, I need you to hear something that has quietly taken root in your heart without you even realizing it. You have believed whispers, subtle lies that have crept into the corners of your mind over time. You have been telling yourself, "I am forgotten," even when I have never left your side. You have said, "I am not enough," when in truth I created you with purpose, with intention, with infinite value that cannot be measured by human standards. These false beliefs have shaped the way you move, the way you breathe, the way you speak, even the way you pray. You carry them like unseen chains, weights that press against your spirit, telling you that you must earn love, that your worth is conditional, that your failures define you. But my child, every one of those thoughts is a lie. Every fear that has whispered you are unworthy, every doubt that has told you that your efforts are in vain, every shadow that has said, "No one sees you, no one hears you," has been spoken to cloud the truth that has always been present. I have been with you in every quiet moment, in every sigh you thought went unnoticed, in every tear that fell when the world was not looking. I have watched, and I have held you close, even when the lie seemed louder than my voice. That voice inside that tells you to shrink, to hide, to doubt your significance. It does not come from me. It is the enemy's attempt to make you forget who I created you to be. Do not mistake the presence of struggle for absence of my love. The fear that you have carried, the self-doubt that you have whispered in private, the quiet insistence that you must prove yourself to be seen, it is not true. You are not forgotten, my child. You are never outside my gaze, never outside my heart, and you are enough, more than enough. Not because of what you do or what you achieve, but because of who you are in me, because of the life I have breathed into you, because of the spirit I have placed within you. I know how many times the lie has felt real, how many nights it has crept in like a shadow, how many days it has pressed on your shoulders, urging you to question your path, your purpose, your place in the world. And yet, through all of it, I have never left. Every tear has been counted, every silent prayer remembered, every heartbreak acknowledged. The false beliefs you have accepted are heavy, but my truth is heavier still, and it is stronger than any lie you have ever believed. Let me remind you now, in the quiet of this moment, in the stillness of your spirit, you are chosen, you are beloved. You are not defined by what you have endured or by what you think you lack. Your value is not negotiable, and your place in my heart is secure. Do not allow the whispers of fear, the lies of the enemy, or the doubts that have lingered in your mind to keep you from seeing your true identity. You are not invisible. You are not weak. You are not too far gone. Every time the lie has tried to convince you otherwise, I have been there, guiding you, sustaining you, holding you steady, reminding you that you are mine. My child, hear me now. The lies that have felt like truth do not have authority over you. They never did. And the next moment you spend with me, the next breath you take in my presence, you can release them. You can lay them down and receive the truth of who you are, deeply, fully, eternally. You are seen, you are known, you are loved beyond measure. The false beliefs have been heavy, but the truth I am placing before you now is unshakable, unwavering, and alive within your spirit. My child, now that you have begun to recognize the weight of those false beliefs, I want you to see something that may surprise you. The way you see yourself is not the way I see you. The picture you have carried in your mind for so long is incomplete. You have been looking at your life through the lens of disappointment, through the lens of mistakes, through the lens of unanswered questions. But I see something entirely different. Where you see weakness, I see hidden strength. Where you see failure, I see perseverance. Where you see delay, I see growth that has been quietly unfolding beneath the surface. You have spent so much time measuring yourself by what has not happened yet that you have overlooked what has already been happening within you. My child, there are parts of your story that you call broken, but I call them being shaped. There are seasons you describe as wasted, but I see them as preparation. There are moments you wish you could erase, yet those very moments have produced compassion, wisdom, patience, and depth within your spirit. You look at the battles and think they only took something from you. I look at those same battles and see what they built inside of you. You think your strength is small because you compare it to the size of your struggles. But I see the fact that you are still here. I see the fact that you kept going when giving up would have been easier. I see the courage it took to get through days that no one else understood. I see resilience that you rarely give yourself credit for. My child, you have mistaken survival for weakness when it was actually evidence of strength. You have mistaken your tears for failure when they were proof that your heart was still alive. You have mistaken your waiting as stagnation when in reality your roots were growing deeper. You see what is visible. I see what is hidden. I see the unseen growth that has been taking place in quiet places. Growth that does not make headlines. Growth that others may never notice. Growth that happens when you choose to keep trusting, even when answers are scarce. Every time you chose kindness instead of bitterness, something grew. Every time you chose to keep hoping after disappointment, something grew. Every time you got back up after feeling defeated, something grew. You thought nothing was changing because the changes were happening where human eyes cannot easily see. My child, a tree does not become strong because of a single sunny day. Its strength develops through seasons. Its roots deepen through challenges. In the same way, your spirit has been growing through circumstances that felt uncomfortable, uncertain, and difficult. What you call hidden pain, I often see as hidden growth. What you call weakness, I often see as tenderness that allows you to love others more deeply. What you call scars, I often see as reminders of how far you have come. I need you to understand this. You are not becoming less than who you were meant to be. You are becoming more compassionate, more resilient, more capable of carrying peace, more able to recognize my presence. The growth may have been quiet, but it has been real. The progress may have been slow, but it has been steady. And the strength inside you is greater than you realize. My child, if only you could see yourself through my eyes for a moment, you would notice things you have overlooked for years. You would see someone who has endured more than they acknowledge. You would see someone who continues to care despite being hurt. You would see someone who still longs for goodness despite disappointment. You would see someone who has not stopped seeking hope even during difficult seasons. You would see a beloved child who is far stronger than fear has allowed them to believe. You would see a life that is not falling apart but being shaped. You would see a heart that is not forgotten but deeply known. You would see a story that is not ending but unfolding. And perhaps most importantly, you would see that I have never been discouraged by your weaknesses because I have always seen the strength I placed inside you. While you have been focusing on what is missing, I have been watching what is growing. While you have been worried about what has not happened yet, I have been nurturing what is becoming. And what is becoming, my child, is far more beautiful than you can currently imagine. My child, there is a question that has lived quietly within your heart for a long time. It has surfaced in your thoughts during difficult days and lingered in your prayers during long nights. It is the question of waiting. Why has it taken so long? Why have some answers seemed distant? Why do certain promises feel as though they are moving more slowly than you hoped? I know this question well because I have heard it many times from your heart, and I want you to understand something that is often difficult to see while you are living inside the process. Waiting is not the absence of movement. Waiting is often where the deepest movement begins. When you look at a seed placed into the ground, it appears as though nothing is happening. From the surface, there is silence, there is darkness, there is no visible growth. No evidence that anything is changing, yet beneath the soil, something remarkable is taking place. The seed is not forgotten. The seed is not abandoned. The seed is preparing. It is developing roots before it ever reaches toward the sky. My child, there have been seasons in your life when you felt buried rather than planted. Seasons when circumstances felt heavy and progress seemed invisible. Seasons when you wondered whether your prayers had simply disappeared into silence. But what if the season you called delay was actually preparation? What if the waiting has been doing something inside you that could not happen any other way? You have often focused on the fruit you wanted to see. I have been focused on the roots you needed to develop. Roots of faith, roots of patience, roots of character, roots of trust that would remain strong even when conditions were uncertain. A tree with shallow roots may grow quickly, but it cannot withstand strong winds. A tree with deep roots can survive seasons that others cannot. And so, while you have been longing for visible change, I have been nurturing unseen growth. My child, Every season has a purpose. Spring does not rush summer. Autumn does not compete with winter. Each season carries its own work. In the same way, your life has moved through seasons that were necessary even when they were uncomfortable. The waiting season has not been punishment. It has not been evidence that I have forgotten you. It has been part of a process designed with wisdom and love. There are things I am preparing for you, but there are also things I have been preparing within you. And often, what happens within you is even more important than what happens around you. I know waiting can feel exhausting. It can make you question your direction. It can tempt you to compare your journey to someone else's. It can cause you to wonder why certain doors have not opened yet. But my child, comparison cannot see the full picture. You do not know the roots another person has or lacks. You do not know the preparation taking place beneath their surface, and they do not know yours. What I am building in you is unique to your calling, your story, and your future. The process has purpose. The preparation has meaning. The growth is real, even when it feels slow. Think about the seasons you have already survived. There were moments you believed you would never make it through, yet here you are. There were challenges that felt overwhelming, yet they strengthened something inside you. There were disappointments that taught you compassion. There were delays that taught you perseverance. There were uncertainties that taught you how to lean closer to me. None of it has been wasted. Every season has contributed something valuable to the person you are becoming. My child, if the seed could speak while it was underground, it might think it was trapped. It might think its story was ending. It would not realize that the darkness was part of the preparation for new life. In the same way, there have been moments when you felt stuck, but you were actually growing. Moments when you felt forgotten, but you were being strengthened. Moments when you believed nothing was happening, while deep within your spirit roots were reaching farther than you could see. The waiting season is not empty. It is full of purpose. The process is not meaningless. It is shaping you. And the growth taking place within you right now may be hidden from your eyes, but it has never been hidden from mine. My child, as the seasons of waiting continue, there is something quietly forming inside of you, something that is not always visible, but is profoundly shaping who you are becoming. While the world has measured progress by what is outward and immediate, I have been measuring the growth that occurs in the stillness, in the silent moments, in the unseen places where patience takes root. You are developing wisdom, the kind that does not rush but understands timing, the subtleties of life, and the deeper truths that cannot be discovered in haste. You are developing resilience, a quiet strength that carries you through uncertainties, disappointments, and moments of doubt, enabling you to rise each time you are pressed down, each time life tests your faith and endurance. Patience is being woven into the fabric of your spirit, teaching you how to wait without becoming weary, how to trust the process even when outcomes are not yet visible, and how to hold hope even when circumstances seem contrary to expectation. Compassion is growing within you, born from the moments when you have suffered and yet chosen to extend understanding, forgiveness, and grace to yourself and to others. Each trial, each delay, each season that felt heavy has been like soil nurturing a root system, unseen but essential, creating a foundation capable of sustaining your future in ways that cannot be measured by days, weeks, or months. The inner strength you may have underestimated has been building quietly, forming the character that will guide you through storms, disappointments, and triumphs alike. You are becoming someone who can walk through the most challenging moments without losing sight of truth, someone who can stand firmly in love and integrity even when faced with opposition or fear. Every experience you have endured has been shaping a depth of understanding that cannot be learned through comfort alone, a capacity to discern the heart of situations, to recognize truth beyond appearances, and to respond with integrity and faith. While it may feel like growth is slow, the roots of your character are deepening with every tear you have shed, every burden you have carried, and every moment when you chose to continue moving forward rather than giving up. The patience, the wisdom, the resilience, and the compassion that are forming inside you now will become a light to others, a source of guidance, encouragement, and hope for those who are struggling and searching for stability in a world that often feels chaotic. Even if it seems that no one notices, every moment of endurance and every choice to remain faithful contributes to the architecture of your soul, the internal scaffolding that supports all that you are destined to become. You are being prepared not only for what lies ahead, but for who you are to be when those moments arrive. The growth within you is active, deliberate, and purposeful. What you are becoming is not accidental or random. The unseen formation of your spirit, strengthened through trial, deepened through reflection, and tempered by patience, is creating a foundation that will allow you to embrace the future with confidence, stability, and a heart ready to receive the fullness of life, faith, and love. Every unseen root, every hidden layer of resilience, every quiet moment of patience, and every act of compassion has been a part of this sacred building process within you, forming a person capable of holding hope without fear, understanding without bitterness, and loving without reservation. In this hidden work, you are not just enduring, you are transforming into someone whose life will reflect depth, clarity, and beauty in ways that will shine in both the visible and invisible realms. My child, after everything you have carried, after every season that has shaped you, after every lesson that has quietly taken root within your spirit, there comes a moment when growth asks for a response. Not a response of striving, not a response of pressure, but a response of trust. This is that moment. You have spent so much time trying to hold everything together, trying to predict every outcome, trying to protect your heart from disappointment. Yet there are some burdens that were never meant to remain in your hands. There are some worries that have occupied your thoughts for far too long. There are some fears that have sat beside you so often that they have begun to feel familiar. And now I gently invite you to release them. Let go of the belief that everything depends on your strength alone. Let go of the pressure to have every answer before taking the next step. Let go of the exhausting habit of carrying tomorrow's concerns before tomorrow has even arrived. You do not need to carry every possibility, every uncertainty, every unanswered question. Some things can be placed into my hands. Some things can be surrendered. My child, there are also hurts that have remained in hidden places within your heart. Wounds from words that were spoken. Wounds from expectations that were not fulfilled. Wounds from moments when life unfolded differently than you hoped. I know how easy it is to hold tightly to those experiences, believing that holding on somehow protects you, but often it only prolongs the heaviness. That is why I invite you to forgive, not because what happened was acceptable, not because your pain was insignificant, but because forgiveness releases your heart from carrying a weight it was never designed to hold forever. Let go of resentment, let go of bitterness, let go of the need to replay old disappointments. Allow your heart room to breathe again. My child, trust is not pretending that difficulties do not exist. Trust is choosing to move forward even when you cannot see the entire path. Trust is taking one step while believing that another step will be shown when the time comes. Trust is resting in the knowledge that you do not need complete understanding in order to keep moving. There are moments when the greatest act of faith is simply refusing to let fear make your decisions. Fear always demands certainty. Fear always wants guarantees. But trust allows peace to enter places where certainty has not yet arrived. I am inviting you into that kind of trust, not a forced trust, not a perfect trust, simply a willing trust. The kind that says, I do not know everything, but I will keep walking. The kind that says, I cannot control every outcome, but I will not allow fear to control my heart. The kind that says, I release what I cannot carry and embrace what I have been given for today. My child, there is freedom waiting on the other side of surrender. There is rest waiting on the other side of striving. There is clarity waiting on the other side of fear. You do not need to arrive there all at once. You only need to begin. Release what has become too heavy. Forgive what has kept you bound. Surrender what you cannot control. Trust what is still unfolding. Take a deep breath within your spirit and loosen your grip on what has exhausted you. The next chapter of your journey does not begin with more effort. It begins with a quieter heart, an open hand, and a willingness to trust one step at a time. My child, as you step into the moments ahead, I want you to imagine a path before you that is not yet visible, a future that has not been revealed, and yet it is filled with possibilities that stretch beyond what your eyes can see. There are doors that have not yet opened, corridors of opportunity that have not yet been walked, and seasons of restoration that are quietly preparing to unfold in your life. You may feel uncertain about what is coming, and that is natural, for the mind seeks to know the entirety of the story before it begins. Yet I invite you to sense the presence of what is waiting, even without understanding all the details. There is a new chapter on the horizon, a chapter that carries hope, growth, and the gentle unfolding of breakthroughs. It is a chapter where the seeds planted in past struggles, the roots of patience developed in waiting seasons, and the strength cultivated through unseen challenges will bear fruit in ways that your heart has longed for. This is not about predicting every event or guaranteeing outcomes. It is about revealing the potential that exists when your heart stays aligned with me, when your spirit remains open to the work I am doing even in the quiet moments. Imagine moments where relationships are restored, where opportunities that were once hidden become clear, where dreams that were paused find a rhythm to come alive, and where your spirit experiences a release from burdens that have weighed heavily. There will be encounters and experiences that bring encouragement, insight, and affirmation that the journey you have walked was not in vain. Even now there are alignments in motion that you cannot yet perceive, arrangements that have been orchestrated with care, and moments of unexpected joy and peace that are waiting for your readiness to embrace them. The future holds spaces where your compassion, patience, resilience, and wisdom will not only be expressed, but celebrated. It holds possibilities where your faith will be strengthened and your understanding deepened. It holds times of clarity that will illuminate paths that were once confusing, and moments where your heart will recognize the culmination of lessons learned, burdens released, and love received. My child, the future is alive with potential, and while you cannot see every step, you can trust that each step is guided, each season is meaningful, and each unfolding moment contributes to the story of your life in ways that are good, purposeful, and abundant. Do not allow uncertainty to shadow your hope. Instead, let your heart open to the promise of what can come, the restoration waiting, and the breakthroughs quietly preparing to meet you. Hold on to the sense of possibility, for even when paths are hidden, there is movement behind the scenes, guiding, shaping, and bringing to life what has been cultivated within you. The next chapter is yours to enter with expectation, with courage, and with faith that what has been built inside you will carry you forward, revealing blessings, opportunities, and restoration in ways that will exceed even your highest hope. The future is not unknown to me, and neither is it unknown to the work being prepared in your spirit. Let your heart remain open, your steps steady, and your hope alive, for there is life ahead that will bring refreshment, joy, and a sense of fulfillment beyond what you have yet imagined. My child, as this moment gently comes to a close, I do not want you to leave carrying the same weight you brought with you. I want you to carry something different. I want you to carry peace. Not the kind of peace that comes from having every answer. Not the kind of peace that depends on perfect circumstances. But the kind of peace that settles deeply within the heart and quietly reminds you that you do not have to walk through life alone. You have spent time reflecting on the burdens you have carried, the fears that have followed you, the waiting seasons that tested you, and the growth that has been taking place beneath the surface. Now take a moment and breathe. Let your soul become still. Let your thoughts slow down. Let your heart rest. There is no need to rush. There is no need to strive. There is no need to figure everything out tonight. Some answers arrive gradually. Some paths become clear one step at a time. Some seasons reveal their purpose only after they have passed, and that is all right. You do not need to carry tomorrow before it arrives. You do not need to solve every uncertainty before you sleep. You only need enough grace for this moment. My child, remember what you have learned. The burden was not the whole story. The waiting was not empty. The struggle was not meaningless. The growth was not invisible. Even in moments when you felt uncertain, something valuable was being formed within you. Wisdom was growing, patience was deepening, resilience was strengthening, compassion was expanding. The journey has shaped you in ways that you may not fully recognize yet. And that shaping continues even now. Carry this truth with you. Your life is not defined by your hardest season. Your identity is not determined by your greatest fear. Your future is not limited by your current circumstances. There is more ahead than you can presently see. There is more healing than you have yet experienced. There is more growth than you have yet discovered. There is more peace than you have yet received. Let your heart remain open to that possibility. Let hope remain alive within you. Let trust become stronger than fear. Let gratitude become louder than worry. Let faith become steadier than doubt. My child, I bless your mind with calmness. I bless your heart with comfort. I bless your spirit with renewed strength. May you find rest when you feel weary. May you find courage when uncertainty appears. May you find wisdom when decisions must be made. May you find patience while waiting for what has not yet arrived. May you find joy in small moments and hope in unexpected places. May your heart become lighter with each passing day. May your spirit remain steady through every season, and may peace accompany you wherever you go. As you continue forward, do not forget this simple truth. You are not standing at the end of your story. You are standing in the middle of it. There are still pages to be written. There are still blessings to notice. There are still opportunities to grow. There are still reasons to hope. So leave this moment gently. Leave it peacefully. Leave it knowing that what has been planted within you is still growing. Leave it knowing that your journey still matters. Leave it knowing that hope is stronger than fear, peace is stronger than worry, and grace is greater than every burden you have carried. And whenever your heart begins to feel heavy again, remember this one truth and hold it close. What is growing inside you is greater than what is trying to discourage you.